It's time for us to take you to one of India's top auto manufacturers and meet Rahul Bajaj of Bajaj Auto. On surviving the slowdown, Bajaj Auto was our next stop. The company is growing strong as India's two-wheeler demand remains robust. But that's not enough for Chairman Rahul Bajaj to sit quiet in his headquarters in Pune. A mood of gloom across the country is impacting how large companies in India do business. Bajaj points out India's economic problems are self-made. He says leadership at the centre is weak, with coalition politics choking decision-making. As a result, key bills on insurance, banking and retail remain pending.
India has not taken a leap, and the last 3 years have not been very good, unfortunately, for whatever reasons. Coalition politics or lack of majority in Rajya Sabha, the European crisis, oil prices increasing, etc., etc. But also, I think, relatively poor governance, in spite of the 3-year report which we have heard and seen.
Which is the more important?
Bajaj Auto is doing much better than that.
Much better. But which is the more important of the two? Can we really say that we've not been able to step up our manufacturing capabilities compared to some of the other emerging markets because of a situation in Europe? Is that so simplistic?
No, hardly any. That, if at all, affects us two ways, America and Europe, and recently Europe. One, some FII money or FDI money may slow down in coming. And second, our export capabilities. But our problems are essential. We are not disconnected with the world, we are connected with the world. But
so they're self-made
essentially
problems?
Of our own making, poor governance. The excuse the government has is that even in 2009, they got a fractured mandate. It's a 23 group or some coalition government, which has, we know what, I've known her for years, Mamta Didi is doing, and sometimes DMK is doing. Petrol price rise is fully justified. Why it became inevitable? There were problems with the government.
But why?
Somebody, the top guys in the government and the Prime Minister must say this, and go ahead and shoot. Maybe the leadership is weak. You have to have strong leadership. Plus, there is two leaders here. Party President and the Prime Minister. Now, whether it's a problem or not, for them to decide. We go by results. The results are not satisfactory. I need 9 to 10%, minimum 9%. Otherwise, where will my people? What is this inclusive growth then?
Why do you think at the moment manufacturing is facing the demand crunch and a cost push?
Because investments are not taking place, and investments are not taking place. Well, how do you do that? Either you don't have power, or you don't get land, as I said already. You don't get land because the land acquisition bill is still not passed, thanks to Mamta Didi. And environment, which was thanks to my friend Jairam Ramesh. I think slightly better with Jayanti Natarajan, but having set a pattern, it becomes very difficult. Activists start shouting, and this government doesn't have the guts to face the activists and say, this we are doing is right.
Okay, let's put politics aside for just one moment. I know that is really the crux of the issue broadly for the country. However, if you look at manufacturing in India or manufacturing China, at many stages in India's own career path, we've said manufacturing can really be what can be a game changer for the country. But we've possibly not done too much in that direction, including the national manufacturing policy.
The national manufacturing policy, we have to go to 25% instead of 16% of the total GDP. It aims to take it to 25%. It took us God knows how long to get the national manufacturing policy in place. Even once it was ready, they again said no in the cabinet. Then they formed a committee under Sharad Pawar, and then it got cleared. So the labour issues and all are not satisfactory. The labour policy is coming in the way of growth. And I am pro-labour. But don't protect a few and hurt the majority. But that's the argument everybody knows, but they don't have the guts. They are afraid. And within the Congress party itself, there is no unanimity on that. So what about other reforms? There are 80 bills pending. There were 100 pending. There are 20 when they passed in the so-called twin budget session.
But not the critical ones that you all wanted.
It's the nation wants. I'm not affected in Bajaj Auto or Bajaj Group at all.
Exactly.
But this is the banking or the insurance or the pension fund.
So, Mr. Bajaj, for many years, Bajaj and the others have actually grown despite the government.
Yes, he's the Indian entrepreneur.
Why is it that today, when there is a slowdown, yes, we do have plenty to crib about, but why can't we once again forget that there is a government, let it do what it wants or doesn't want? Why can't we continue with that growth?
I can't speak for the others. Bajaj Auto is doing exactly that. Bajaj Finserv, Bajaj Holding, Bajaj Insurance Companies. We are not abroad. We have not set up plants abroad.
Yeah.
But I can't criticize those who have. They got tired of waiting. They got tired of corruption.
Yes.
So they went ahead. But what you are asking and saying is exactly Bajaj Auto is expanding here.
But there is...
We are exporting, as we should, from India.
Yeah.
The only thing we have abroad is a 48% equity in a motorcycle company in Austria.
Do you really think that it's better to export today because of the environment rather than have a larger domestic demand, because that is getting capped due to inflation and other issues?
And first of all, it depends on time and it depends on the product. Having said that, we are already exporting 35% of our total production in value.
Right.
We aim to take it to 50%, we don't know when, but 2, 3, 4 years time, 50%. But what is important? I'll sell wherever I can.
Yeah.
There's no question of one better than the other. I must increase my market share, domestic market share in India. It's, one of my competitors is ahead of me. So we have to catch up. If I can do well in my field, motorcycles and three-wheelers, abroad, does it make any sense to say I can't do well at home? Yes, the companies which can, I'm talking of my field, companies which can export, first of all, they are showing their capability, they are showing their competitiveness, they are showing their quality.
Yes.
They are showing their vision to capture the world. And I don't believe in my kind of industry that I must set up a plant everywhere. I am the lowest cost producer in the world in India. There may be some other Indians like me.
Yes.
But outside India, there's nobody who can make it cheaper than me.
But specifically, what is really causing investment in manufacturing to remain extremely uncertain? Are people more and more worried that the returns are going to be less, the debt is high, and on the same time, costs cannot be predicted?
It varies from company to company, industry to industry. Till 2010-11, two-wheeler industry was growing at 15 to 20% per annum. Nobody says that's bad.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world. Last year it grew by 11%. So it slowed down, no doubt. But it's still growing, and that is part of your GDP growth.
What will it take to survive this sense of a slowdown that we are in as a country? I mean, you know, you've got Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, many such organizations saying GDP in India for FY13 is lowered, and lowered big time.
For things to improve, we need better and good governance in India. Central government, state government, both have to improve, reduce corruption, improve efficiency, easier said than done, and take the tough decisions, otherwise go for elections. If you can't manage, don't stay there.
Mention those 3 tough decisions. Quickly mention those 3 tough decisions, specifically.
Lokpal bill. Not what Anna Hazare wants. The right thing.
Okay.
To put the fear of God in the corrupt, the giver and the taker.
Point 1.
The banking bill, the pension bill. That will change the environment.